Hey guys, welcome back to Ox Tools. I'm Tom. So this is Meatloaf 70. This particular episode is going to be kind of special. Something happened earlier this week that makes it really special. So remember that date, because we're going to talk about it in a little bit coming up. So I got a couple things. Needless to say, I've been a little bit busy. Did go to the flea market on Sunday, got a couple things at the flea market. Got a new tool that should keep a lot of guys happy. I finally broke down and bought an air compressor. It's a super quiet one, so we'll check that out. And a viewer pointed me in the right direction on that one, so and I'm sorry I don't remember who it was, but they were dead on. This thing's great. Got a viewer appreciation package that showed up, and then did some international horse trading, which is always kind of fun. And so, you know, borders have no meaning. So with trading tools, so anyway, it was kind of fun. So we're gonna suit up here and take a look at a few things, and then have a little chat at the end about that date. So stay to the end because it's pretty important. All right, let's start out. Let's start out by doing a couple of modifications here. I think this can come down. This is the etching press layout here. The general layout of the side there. We've been working on the gear reducer and stuff. This is the side frame. I don't know. I showed that a long time ago. So I think what we're going to do is our buddy Mitch Rosen. Mitch Rosen, Extraordinary Gun Leather. He sent me a upgraded emblem. He saw this. This is one of his product bags that I cut out because I wanted to put it up on my bulletin board. He saw that and said, "Hey, here's a upgraded one for you." So we're gonna stick that in there. And it's got pins on the back, so I'm just gonna stuff it in there and put that there. And then Adam had sent me one of these Keith Fenner burnouts of his logo. So I think we're gonna put that up in here somewhere and stuff a couple of pins in there. Yeah, that'll work like that. Oops, it's crooked. My machinist sensibilities were mildly offended. Okay, actually this one's crooked too, so I should re-level that. Better. Okay, so Mitch, thank you very much. And if you guys need the absolute finest leather work for guns that you can get your hands on, go check out Mitch Rosen and get yourself some. And then everybody knows Adam. Go check out Adam's channel if you haven't seen him. Still got a couple stickers left. This white one's going to go on my car. Well, you can't hardly see it. And the black one, I haven't figured out a spot for that. So, okay, so here's some of the activities for the week. We've got some flea market finds here. That's this little pile here. We got some international horse trading here in this little pile. That's kind of an interesting story there. We've got a stateside viewer here that sent in a little viewer appreciation package here. We'll talk about that. And then these are some tools that Noga sent me for testing, so we'll take a look at some of those as well. So let me, I'm going to bring you guys in a little closer, and we'll kind of go through this pile one by one and talk about a little bit of the junk that's here, and or fine articles, I should say, and kind of go through it. So let's do that. Okay, so let's take a look at some of this stuff. Let's get this out of the way first. Right at the end of the flea market, I was walking by this, and Adam got one of these a while back, and so I kind of recognized it, and I went and asked the guy. I go, "Well, what do you want for that thing?" And he says, "Oh, $25." And I go, "Okay, thanks." You got the cable? No, I don't have the cable. So I go, okay, thanks. So I kind of walked off. Well, the guy kind of ran me down in the next row and said, oh, hey, I found the cable. I found the cable for it. And it's kind of got a little different end on it, so it wasn't something that you just buy. It's not a straight USB. It's got a kind of a unique connector on this end. And he says, "Oh, I found the cable for it. How about $20?" And I go, "Okay." So I got it. And this is a Snowball microphone made by the Blue Microphone Company, and it's kind of an oddball microphone, but. Anyway, for $20, I said, fine, I'll try it out and see if it works. I'm planning on doing this new software, editing software that I have. I can do voiceovers really easily with it, where my other software I couldn't. So we're going to try that out on some voiceover stuff. So $20 for that. These are, I don't know, these are about $70 new, something like that, depending on where you buy it. Sweetwater has these for $70 with free shipping. So. If you guys want to get one. So it's got its own little stand. Okay, let's look at the next. So the next deal here is this roasting pan, and it's full of pop rivets. These are these large flange pop rivets here, and there's some different flavors in here. And these feel like steel mandrels here because they're heavy. There's kind of some miscellaneous junk in here. Some guy's missing a turn signal handle. Some nice little fender washers, but I don't know, there's about 5 pounds worth of rivets in there, and in a weird pot, but it came with this, and what this is the Big Daddy Riveter, and it's a pop rivet puller with kind of extra leverage. Let's see if we can see in there, and it's got a kind of a gear reduction in there, and it's funny because I'm doing some pop rivets now. We bought a revolving darkroom door for my wife's photography hobby, and it's put together with pop rivets. Well, I was getting tired of pulling them by hand. I don't have a pneumatic rivet puller, and so this thing was laying there. So it was $30 for all the rivets and the rivet puller. So this is made by the Marson Company, which is the guys that make the little red-handled hand jobber, and it's got the different mandrels, so you can pull the larger rivets with this, no problem. Stainless steel rivets or steel mandrel rivets and full steel rivets without any problem. So I'll clean that up a little bit, and then I'm gonna actually use that pretty soon, pulling some rivets on that darkroom door. So. Let's take a look at the next thing. All right, so this is the next little pile here. Let's see, this was one guy and this was another guy here. That's all I got at the flea market was that Big Daddy Riveter and this here. Now what this is here, this is a little odd. This is kind of a weird thing here. And if you look in the shank of this thing, there's some wood in there. And what this is the end of a machinist scraper. So let me grab one. Okay, so this is an Anderson Brothers scraper. Okay, and you can see the similarity here. Now this is a 3/4 wide. This is a 1 inch wide here, but it's carbide on the end. This one I haven't sharpened yet, but this one has already got a light curve in it, and then it's got the double bevel in it. And I just happened to see it, and I've never seen one like this before. This is it's a bronze or brass shank, and with a brazed carbide cutting bit. So maybe we'll put another handle on that. I don't know. It says LBNS, so I don't know what that stands for. I have no idea. And I have no idea what kind of handle was mated to this at some point. That seems awful small for a wood handle because you're leaning on these things pretty good. So, and you kind of want that spring. So anyway, the scraper handle, that was $2. I said, what the heck, I'll get it. It can't hurt. And then we've got some punches here. Starrett long drive pin punch. So if you're going to buy a set of drive pin punches, if you want to just buy one, I would get the long ones like this. These are really useful. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pull a set out here. And this is my set that I've had forever and kind of repaired the, but that's what the set looks like. It goes from 1/8 to 3/8, and then that's a 3/8. So now I get an extra one. But these are super handy, and the long length is very useful. So I would buy this one first, and then get the shorter set later on, which looks like that. Okay, and there's a shorter set. So, and then these are just loose ones here. So those are drive pin punches, those three. This is a little tiny prick punch here, and this is made by Lufkin, which you don't see very often. You know, Lufkin used to make the same, almost exact same line of tools as Starrett, but this is a little prick punch. This looks like a little nail set, a little Starrett nail set. And then we have a Plum diamond chisel here. So all these, this was $5 for this little pile here. And these I already had. So that was the flea market haul. All right. Excuse me. This next little lot comes to us from a gentleman named Gail Strand. And his dad was a machinist. And in northern Minnesota. He wrote me a little note here and told me a little bit about his dad here. And they moved to the Southern California, and his dad worked at Lockheed and some other shops down there, and the Herald newspaper, and was a machinist. And anyway, Gail's had its toolbox there for years, and it just apparently doesn't use the stuff, and wanted to send something into the show and to show his appreciation. So he put a little box together and sent it to me. Anyway, a couple nice items here. Gail, thank you very much. This is pretty cool stuff here. We got a number 34 Jacobs chuck with a nice straight shank on it, and it looks like 5/8. So his dad's name was Nels, and so Nels and I happen to like the same shank. This is a 5/8 shank here, and this is a nice little chuck here, and it's, you know, it's been sitting for years, but it still turns by hand very nicely. Missing a chuck key, but that's not a big deal at all. They're readily available. They're only a couple of bucks. And this one here, I don't know if you can see that, but it really closes down pretty small there. So that's a nice chuck. And then we got an even smaller one here. We got an even smaller one, and this is one of those little sensitive hand feeds. And what's really cool, what I like, is his dad, this is this electro etching here, where you have a little plastic membrane that you type onto, and then you lay that on, and then you put a little bit, there's a little chemical you put on, and then you run a little electricity through it, and it actually marks into the metal there. And so it's Niels E. Strand. And this is a little Jacobs number 0, I think. Isn't this a 0? Yeah, this is a number 0. And I don't know, I think this only goes up to about a 3/16 or something like that. What is it? 532. And it's on one of these little sensitive hand feed things. So Gail, once again, thank you. That's a real nice nice little gift there. And Nels, we thank Nels for that also. So. Okay, and then the last item in that is this cool little jack. This is a simplex planer jack, and these are used to set up work in a planer or a shaper or something like that to kind of support underneath parts. And this is a kind of a low profile one. Believe it or not, the capacity of that little monkey is 2 tons, and so, you know, it's got a pretty healthy size screw on it. It looks like about 3/4 10. Yeah, it looks like 3/4 10, something like that. And a little lock bolt there, and so nice little jack. Gail, thank you very much. It's a nice little package. I really appreciate it, and you know, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, so this next one here, this comes to us from the UK. I did a little horse trading with a gentleman out there, Tom Jagello, or Gilo. You know, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Jagello. You know, he contacted me, and he wanted to send something into the show. And I said, well, you know, that's a pretty nice thing to send in. I said, you know, what do you need, right? So we went back and forth a couple times. So I sent him a set of metric pin gauges that I had and that I wasn't really using, and he thought he could use. So we did a little horse trade with that. And then here's what he sent me. And it is just an absolutely pristine pair of Minato 12-inch calipers. Now, they don't appear to have been used to me. The little rubber protector thing is still on here. Now these have the you know, the 200 thousandths per rev dial. Okay, and a lot of guys don't like those, but you know, and I already have a set. Actually, you know what? Let me pull those out, and you guys can see the difference in the dial. All right, so there's the ones I've been using for years. So those are 100 thousandths per rev, and you can see the space between the divisions is just a little friendlier than these. But if you think about it, you know, you're really not using calipers like this to take measurements down to a half thousandths. You're not splitting these divisions, you know. You want to know when you're getting close to a particular number. You know, if it really matters, you're going to be using a micrometer or some other measuring device. So, but these are in really nice shape, and I I have a plan for these, and that I'll let you guys in on one of these days. And so these are going to get put away and saved for another project that will be announced in due course. I happen to like the Minato jaws. They have nice angled jaws. They're not rounded, so you can you can scribe with them and get a decent line. And then they're really easy to touch up because it's just a straight it's a straight bevel, so you can touch them up. And you know, if you bang them into something, you can touch them up pretty easily because they're not curved. But and you know, nobody ever drops their calipers, right? So anyway, Tom, thank you very much. That was a nice trade, and I hope you like the pins. I certainly like the calipers. Thank you very much. Okay, so like I said, I finally broke down and I bought a little air compressor. And this is a California Air Tools Ultra Quiet Air Compressor. Now, a viewer turned me on to this, and this is a 10-gallon here. I forgot what the model is here. It's a catalog number 120, and you know, it doesn't put out a ton of air. You know, you're not going to run a big giant impact or die grinder on it, continuously, but an air nailer or, machine shop blow off jobs and maybe a little bit of die grinding or whatever you can probably do. What it is, and this was the main criteria for me, was it's super quiet, okay? And I'm going to turn it on here in a second, and it's empty. So what it'll do is, initially when it gets revved up, it has a little bypass here that closes shortly after it starts running, and then it'll run up to full pressure. And so let's go ahead and just turn it on, because that's what everybody wants to hear, right? So that's it. It's running, and there's a little blow off, and that'll close in a sec. But you guys know how echoey the shop is, and you can hear that's pretty quiet compressor. I'm not even a foot away with my mouth, and okay, so there it closed. That's pretty quiet, right? And so this is really what I wanted here. And then I can regulate, it's got a built-in regulator for the output here. So I can turn that down and regulate that down so the blow-off isn't real loud either. So, you know, it's coming up 50 psi now, almost 60. You know, it's not putting out a huge amount of CFM, but that's not really what I care about. What I care about is the quiet. Compared to my other one, this one is basically silent. So anyway, I'm real happy with this. I'm sorry, but I just can't remember who it was that recommended this. I was looking at the Makita. Makita makes a real quiet one too, but I think this one is 74 dB or something like that. I don't remember the numbers now, but it was the reviews were pretty awesome on this. So California Air Tools, I bought this through Home Depot of all places, and they delivered it right to my shop, and it was about 400 bucks. So anyway, check them out if you're looking for a really quiet air compressor. And it's on wheels, and you know, it's pretty heavy. It's probably 80 pounds, something like that. So you know, you don't go whipping this up into the truck. You know, it's a two-person job or something like that, or for one of them young bucks. Okay. Hey guys. So you remember I said that date was important. So not too long ago, one of my last really powerful mentors in my life passed away. Well, what happened on 2/11/15 was you guys almost lost your mentor. Wednesday evening, I woke up with severe chest pain and thought I had bad heartburn. Well, it turned out that I had a cardiac blockage. And so thanks to my wife, we got to the hospital pretty quick, and they went to work on me pretty fast. So with an equivalent thing like this, they went through my wrist and took care of the blockage and installed a stent, and saved my life. So fortunately I got to the hospital quick enough, and I have no damage to my heart muscle, and I feel great now. In fact, when I was laying on the table and they were doing the thing, I felt wonderful once they opened it up. So what I wanted to talk about was that right now I realize that by telling my story, I might be able to help somebody else. At first, I really wanted to keep it private and to myself, but I figured if I can help one other person, then I'm doing good. So anyway, if you guys feel anything in your chest, so I had chest pain and pain in one of my arms, and I was cold, and you know, there was a few other things going on. But the key was that I listened to my wife, and I got in the car and went to the hospital and got checked out. Okay, you have these benefits, go use them. Okay, and thankfully I did. So I'm here now because I did that. So I'm going to show you a couple pictures here. So the miracles of modern technology, of course, me being the technology nerd that I am, I really was kind of an observer to the process and fascinated by the whole thing too. So let's cut away, and the first image I'm going to show you is the choked up, rotor-rooter needed condition, and then the second image will be the blockage cleared. So let's do that. Let's cut away. So you can see that that blood vessel was blocked big time, and they opened it up and they put a little stent in there, and now you can see that that's fully flowing again. So
I had an excellent team of doctors, and they saved my life. Okay, that's all I can say. And so what I come away with is that I got a gentle warning. Okay, how gentle it was is arguable, but I got an extremely gentle warning. So it's a wake-up call, and my most precious commodity that I have is time. Okay, and when something like this happens to you, it snaps you into perfect focus and brings that to your attention. So anyway, I'm sharing this with you guys, and women too. Okay, women, heart attack kills a lot of women too, because they don't it's not something that they recognize. So they don't recognize the symptoms, or they don't have any symptoms. So anyway, if you feel any chest pain abnormally, and you have any of the other indicators, arm pain, jaw pain, things like that, cold sweat, go to the doctor. Take an aspirin and go to the doctor, which is exactly what I did. And I'm here today because I did that, okay? So, producing videos for you guys. So anyway, unless you like going to the doctor and getting one of these shoved into your artery and up to your heart, take care of yourself and live long and prosper. Thanks for listening, guys.